A scary scene this morning just east of Scottsbluff as a loaded diesel tanker overturns, spilling hundreds and hundreds of gallons onto Highway 26. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, first responders were on scene today for an overturned diesel tanker on Highway 26 just east of the Western Sugar Factory. NSP Troopy Captain Kurt Von Minden tells KNEB News what exactly happened.
Initial investigation looks like the subject failed to negotiate a turn and turned over. The cargo container ruptured and it is now spilling diesel fuel.
Authorities quickly responded to the scene and closed off traffic in all directions. The driver was trapped inside his cab and firefighters had to extricate the man. He was later taken to Regional West with undisclosed injuries. While this all was happening, hundreds of gallons of diesel was leaking from the tank into the north side shoulder.
At least one day until we can get this road back open because the diesel fuel will have to be scooped up by a hazmat removal team and then placed in somewhere safe and removed. So this road will be closed for at least the remainder of the day.
Responding to the scene today included Scottsbluff Police, Scottsbluff Fire, Nebraska State Patrol, Scottsbluff County Sheriff's Department, Region 22 Emergency Management, Nebraska Department of Roads, and Scottsbluff Hazmat. Well, a 21-year-old Scottsbluff man is facing a litany of charges after trying to pass a fraudulent check at a local bank Monday morning. Around 10:18 a.m., staff at Great Western Bank called police after Daniel Hubbard Jr. was attempting to cash a stolen check while in the bank's drive-thru. When officers arrived, Hubbard Jr. was still in the silver Chrysler, and he was asked to step out of the vehicle. As he was being handcuffed, he pulled away and began running away. A brief foot pursuit ensued, and he was taken into custody after another struggle. Hubbard Jr. was taken to Regional West to get treatment for injuries before being taken to the Scottsbluff County Detention Center. He was arrested on charges of forgery, possession of stolen property, obstruction, resisting arrest, assault on an officer, possession of methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Two Scottsbluff police officers received minor injuries while trying to arrest Hubbard Jr. We'll have more news right after this.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Western CPAP Supply has earned an impeccable professional reputation within the Wyoming and Western Nebraska region. Helping you get a good night's sleep is our passion. Our amazing team understands sleep disorders from a personal and professional level. We use CPAPs and BiPAPs too, and sometimes it just helps to work with people who share common ground. Our accredited CPAP supply company is approved by Medicare and Medicaid and is in network with every major insurance company in the region. Western CPAP Supply. We're here to help.
Back. A former Minutair police officer has been sentenced after pawning department-issued firearms and passing a bad check at a local business. 32-year-old Brian Martinez pleaded no contest yesterday to 3 counts of theft by unlawful taking in Scottsbluff County Court. Judge Randon Rowland sentenced Martinez to a $1,000 fine on each of the 3 convictions. Additionally, he will have to pay more than $2,300 of restitution to the city of Minutair and $1,700 to the business. A show cause hearing in this case has been scheduled for August 19th. Well, Governor Pete Ricketts has proclaimed May as Beef Month in Nebraska during a ceremony yesterday at the state capitol. Ricketts was joined by Nebraska Department of Agriculture Director Steve Wellman, Nebraska Beef Council Chairman George Cooksley, and Nebraska Cattlemen President Brenda Masick. Nebraska ranks first in the nation for commercial cattle slaughter and second for beef exports, all cattle on feed, and commercial red meat production.
And it's part of who we are. It's part of our culture. About half of our state, about 22 million acres, is rangeland and pasture land. And our ranchers pride themselves on taking care of their animals, livestock, and the land. And so it's really a part of who we are as a state. It's a big deal. It's also a big part of our overall economy. It's our number one business and our largest industry.
Last year, Nebraska exported a record of $1.81 billion of beef, which surpassed the state's previous annual high by 25%. And the Creighton University Mid-America Business Condition Index remained above growth neutral for the 23rd straight month, despite a drop from March. The BCI was a still healthy 65.9 in April compared to the very strong 71.3 index in the previous month. Economist Ernie Goss says slowing deliveries are keeping the economy from busting out, and not all suppliers were optimistic.
We ask about the factors pushing up prices as reported by the supply managers, and about 57% says supply material cost. Another 13.3% indicated transportation delays. Another 10% reported that higher energy prices, higher energy cost, and of course fuel. And then finally, supplier profits.
About 4 of 10 supply managers expect supply chain disruptions to worsen, while only 2 of 10 anticipate an improvement. Nebraska's overall index for April rose by a couple tenths of a point to 69.6, in part because non-durable goods producers have expanded during the first 4 months of the year. Well, still to come, Bill Boyer with your weather and Shabella Guzman with your ag news. KNB.TV News will be back right after this.
Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge. What is Hydrozen? It's total body relaxation. It's total body recharge. It's floating weightless on water. Floating your aches, pains, stresses, and worries away. Hydrozen is a revolutionary new therapy using Epsom salt saturated water as a way to relax and rejuvenate your body. And it's now available in Scottsbluff. It is for most ages and has many benefits to the mind and body. Visit hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT.
The Verizon family is full of frowns because they're spending too much for their unlimited data and phones, while the Viero family is all smiles because they're getting 4 lines of unlimited data with 2 free Apple iPhone SE for mom and dad and 2 free LG K31 smartphones for the kids, all for just $100 a month. They're saving so much, they're able to get Fido. Find out how you can too at Viero.com or your nearest Viero store. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
Western Nebraska may not be ideal for double cropping grain crops, but it could be for relay crops. Cody Creech, Nebraska Extension dryland cropping specialist, says they have been doing some test plots at the Extension Center in Scottsbluff with wheat and dry edible beans.
And the relay cropping essentially means when we have 2 crops growing at the same time. And we worked at the Panhandle Center to look at the possibilities of relay cropping wheat and dry beans, meaning that we actually go in about the middle of May when that wheat's about the boot stage, and we plant the beans into the wheat. and they start to grow at that time. And then we harvest the wheat off, and then we come back and harvest the beans like we normally do.
In western Nebraska, farmers do often double crop their wheat, following it with forage. Creech says some farmers may have put in winter wheat last year as a cover crop.
With the intention of terminating that winter wheat this spring and going to corn or sugar beets or dry beans or whatever. With the situation with the water limitations and the drought, there's a lot of incentive for those producers to maybe keep that winter wheat and take that through harvest and then evaluate their options at that time. And if they have the water to put something in behind it, again, like a forage crop, that's a really good way to save water and get through this drought period that we're in right now.
Even with the snow and rains that fell and are expected again this week, the soils still need quite a bit to catch up from the dry winter.
Renewal by Anderson. Enjoy the view again. There is nothing like that morning cup of coffee when you have Renewal by Anderson windows. Their exclusive Fibrex material is twice as strong as vinyl. The difference is huge. No more drafts, no more absurd heating or cooling bills. A quiet home, the outside noise is gone. Renewal by Anderson's incredible financing offer is here right now. No money down, no interest, no payments for a full year. Book your free estimate right now at rbawyoming.com. Enjoy the view again with Renewal by Anderson windows.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, the proclamation ceremony of National Travel and Tourism Week was held yesterday morning with the mayors of Gering, Scottsbluff, Terrytown, and a Scottsbluff County Commissioner proclaiming National Travel and Tourism Week here in the Valley. Gering Mayor Tony Kaufman read the proclamation, but first spoke about the importance of the tourism industry in our region.
You know, Carla and Brenda do such a great job really promoting tourism, not only in our communities, but the entire region. You know, we've got stakeholders and we got a lot of great agencies in our community. Our city staffs have just spent countless hours, and we've really made a concerted effort to make a lot of investment in tourism and tourism facilities in our community.
Kaufman went on to say our extended region based on tourism, and it is an impactful industry in our communities. At the conclusion of the ceremony, Gering Visitors Bureau Director Carla Needen-Streak surprised attendees and the recipient with the unannounced presentation of the 2022 Gering Visitor Bureau Community Volunteer Buddy Award to recognize one of Gering's true champions of tourism.
Our winner is someone who thinks outside the box, whose visions for our future are always tied to our past, and who looks particularly good in green. Our winner has been involved in every aspect of the Rubidoux Trading Post, from its rechinking to moving its rocks around its perimeter, to helping find its new home and its new site, to strategically planning for the future, and most importantly, for leading how we're going to tell its story now and for many years into the future. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Gering Visitors Bureau, it is my honor to announce the recipient of the 2022 Community Volunteer Buddy Award to Mr. Dan Morker.
The ceremony was originally scheduled to take place at the new home of the Rubidoux Trading Post, but was moved indoors to the Gering Civic Center due to yesterday's snow, wet, cold conditions. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.